What's good, everyone? I'm back with another episode of the Hip Hop Shop. It's your boy Dre, and sorry I've been away for a while, but life got in the way. But how's everybody doing? I've been all right. But the latest thing that I've been thinking about is, I guess, what I've been missing from hip hop. Well, besides bars, but I guess it's the feeling of you know knowing that I guess like what I'm saying, like you're missing some mind blowing bars. I mean, you get that from certain artists. Like I get that from Kendrick. I get that from Cole. Jay Z still around. Uh, Nas is. I go back and listen to Nas stuff. He's supposed to be dropping a new LP, hopefully rumored in June, but he said his album was done 2 years ago. So, go figure. Uh, who else? Joey Badass. Fucking. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Um, it's a very few select artists. Lupe, he's still considered one of my most underrated MCs of all time. Like his bars is like yo, there's like some bars that from Food and Liquor that I'm starting to like finally get now, and that came out in 2006. So I'm like, yo, he be having double entendres, triple entendres. Like, yo, his wordplay is sick. But I guess like that's what I feel like I'm missing from hip hop. And then also, uh, fuck, I can't get it out. The mixtape game is dead. You know, um, people, artists are allegedly, releasing mixtapes, but they're putting them shits on, you know, iTunes, Title. You know what I'm saying? I personally feel like them, those releases are albums, but they call them shits mixtapes. Like for example, the two Bobby Tarantino mixtapes from Logic, he considers them mixtapes. I consider them shits albums because I can't go to the mixtape spot and buy them shits. Um, but then again, mixtape spots don't even exist anymore. So I'm just like, yo, like things have changed. Things have definitely changed in the music game. Some for better, some for worse. Now another thing that's missing that I feel is the mixtape game, and I felt like the mixtape game was it was beneficial for an artist to grow, and you don't really get that in modern artists anymore. Like most cats, like they just upload songs to SoundCloud, or they just release shit to iTunes, and like that's pretty much it. Like niggas is really trying to just hit home runs with singles, and then eventually work on an album. Before artists like mixtapes were kind of like artist development. Um, Before you got to like a major, and then you had the A&R who actually helped you further develop as an artist. But yeah, that's missing. Pretty much like the last couple artists that I actually grew with through the mixtape game was like Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake. Drake had Room for Improvement, Comeback Season, and then So Far Gone. He had those mixtapes. Kendrick had you know YHNIC, Training Day, No Sleep to NYC, C4, and then Overly Dedicated before he actually put out his first actual album, which was Independent, Section 80. And then, J. Cole, uh, he had the warm up. Um, what else? I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Hold on, let me go ahead look this shit up real quick. But yeah, he had J. Cole had the come up, the warm up, Friday Night Lights. Those were his mixtapes that you actually got to see the progression. before he actually came out with his very first album, you know. So I feel like that's what we're missing too, because most of these cats now, like, they're just trying to come up with like a hit just to get their name out there, load it up on SoundCloud or load it up on iTunes. That they're not really working on anything else until, like, oh shit, I got signed. Then the label's like, yo, we need a fucking album too. So I feel like, that's what's missing too. So, and a mixtape really, in my opinion, shows you the true artist rather than when their commercial albums come out, because the record labels, they're really working on, I need a radio hit. I need a radio hit. Where are the hits at? Now, in other news, the Flatbush Zombies, which I heard of them a couple years ago, but I never really got into their music. But one night I was out Ubering, saw, their album had came out, Vacation in Hell, and I just was like, let me actually check this out while I'm riding around giving rides and stuff. And this album is actually really fucking dope. It actually led me to go back and, listen to their very first album, which came out, I believe, like 2 years ago. And yeah, like this album is really fucking dope. Like, it's heavy in my rotation, and the year is young, but I believe that it's one of the best albums that have come out so far this year. Now, the tracks that really stand out for me is, Vacation with Joey Badass, and they always collaborate with Joey Badass in the pro era, but yeah, like, pretty much, like, Joey Badass's verse on there was pretty fucking dope, man. Like, my man said, pretty much like, yeah, cruising in my own lane, had to take the scenic route. My reality is what most you niggas dream about. Fake niggas only ride for you when they need the clout, but leave your ass for dead when you're bleeding out. Like that, yo, that's real shit. That's definitely real shit right there. Now, another track stand out is fucking Headstone, which actually I believe was their lead single off their album. It is like so many fucking hip hop references in this fucking album. I mean, in this song, like, yo, it's dope as hell. Like, Zombie Juice, I hit it doggy style, she throw it back. Yeah, I'm born to Mac. It's dark and hell is hot, so leave me where I'm at. I'm living how I wanna, no reasonable doubt. It's clear to see, all eyes on me, 400 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless. Easy does it. The chronic smoke in public. Hated to love it. The underdogs with the liquid swords. I'm like, yo, so many fucking references right there, yo. Like, yo, this shit is crazy. Eric Ark Elliott. It was written in the children's story that life's a bitch. So what you want every day, I struggle with it. Only God can judge me slipping. I'm indefinitely big pimping. Like, yo, get money, quiet storm, having suicidal thoughts. For the cream, renegade. For the money, all the green is the lemonade. Like, come on, son. And then Michi Darko's verse. Yo, write this on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like, who shot you? I shot you. Warning, watch them niggas. Flashing lights, paparazzi. 2 words, fuck bitches, get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. I lick a shot in Bucktown. The firearm silencer on. That quiet storm. TONY. Top of New York with a pitchfork. Like, yo, if you don't get through these hip hop references, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. The song Facts with Jadakiss, like, Jada bodied this shit. Like, he usually bodies everything. You appear to be more than you are. Who do you expect me to think who do you expect me to think your jewelry is real? It costs more than your car. All this roly shit is all a facade. You the ace in your hood. You on the carpet, but you on the red carpet, but you falling apart. Damn, I ain't never heard of it. How you receiving awards for a song you ain't even write a single word of it? I'm like, yo, that's how it is nowadays, dog. Like, with these fake rappers nowadays, like in hip hop, dog. Like, and he says, to the large percent of smoking mirrors, I'm gonna leave it like that, cause everything that I said was just in the verse was just all facts. Like, come on, son. Like Jada body that shit, dog. And then the other song I really love is "You and I" featuring Daya, and it's pretty much like a song that's an ode to pretty much themselves. It's they're showing love to each other. Like they're showing love. They're showing people that the zombie Flatbush zombies, like the zombie gang, this shit is a brotherhood. So it's like they're showing love to each other, and like that's like what's missing in hip hop right now. Like everybody want to be hard and shit, but you can't even tell your own people's like, yo, I love you. And you know what I'm saying? Like I got your back and I'm always here for you. Like it's rare that you hear that shit nowadays because all these niggas want to talk about is, I got money, I'm getting guap, I fucked your bitch, I could fuck anybody's bitch, I'm popping pills, I'm on lean, I'm on Xannies and shit. Like, yo, I like I like music that has like more substance, more depth to it. Like I don't need shit that, yo, the words is the lyrics is like mad corny. Like there's no bars, but the beat is knocking. Like fuck all that. Like I need more. I need more substance in that. Now I want to get into J. Cole, who actually surprised people last week by announcing that he was actually coming out with an album, and then his album came out this past Friday, KOD, and this album is really really good. It's a really 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 solid album. I fucks with it. Um, I'm still, listening to this album. I still got to live with it. But for the most part, one of my favorite songs off the album is Photograph, where, he pretty much goes into, I guess, like falling in love with like a chick's social media. You know what I'm saying? Like on, I guess like a chick setting thirst traps or whatever on Instagram. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just like falling in love with that shit. Like and talk about like, I guess how these niggas, these young niggas nowadays be falling for the thirst traps and things of that nature. Um, the cutoff is actually a really good song featuring Kill Edward, who is actually J. Cole, but he, disguises his voice or changes his voice a little bit. And that's pretty much talking about like, uh, you know, I guess like with drugs and things of that nature, and like cutting people off, because like he feels like he's a crutch to them, because they only hit him up, when they want like some money, or they hit you up when they want to smoke, they want to drink, but they really ain't got shit to offer as well. Kevin's Heart, that song is actually pretty dope. You know, it's a play on Kevin Hart, and he talking about fucking the side chick, or what I'm saying, getting caught like cheating and all that shit, which that's what Kevin Hart did. But yeah, like I was like, yo, that shit is pretty fucking dope. Brackets is like one of my favorite songs off the album, and actually of like this year, because my man really went into like a in-depth detail about like one of what you know this one family was going through. A little kid was hit with a stray, he dies. His mom already kicked his older brother out because he was influenced by the streets. He pretty much wasn't shit. And pretty much like then he's talking about like, what I'm saying, like taxes and where your money goes from the government and how it should be spent. And then he wraps it all up with the mom finally kicks the older brother out, and she's about to go to, the younger son's funeral, but then she's got to do her taxes. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. And then lastly, one of my other favorite songs off the album is 1985, Intro to the Fall Off, which I'm like, all right, so is J. Cole's next album actually going to be the Fall Off, or was he talking about eventually when, these these upcoming, or what actually these this current generation now, like the new generation, when they eventually start to fall off, like is what he's detailing in the song, the intro to their fall off. But either way, you know, it's got people talking about it. But pretty much like um, his advice to the current generation, and some people, saying that he's taking shots at Lil Pump as well. But it's not really. I don't look at it as a diss. Like he's really, like he's like, all right, like I see that you guys are getting money. You know, your music is not really for me, but you know, pretty much like he's just giving them game. He's giving them advice to what they should do while they're still popping right now, which is like, what I'm saying, stash some money away, buy buy a house, buy your mom a house, buy some things that will appreciate with value instead of spending your money on dumb shit and making it rain, because eventually this money is going to run out. Like your star is eventually going to burn out, because if you're staying with this current fad in hip hop, well, in rap, like pretty much like eventually this shit is going to be played out, and the people, the kids who are listening to you right now who's saying that you're hot, eventually they're going to grow up, and eventually you're going to fall off. So maybe in about 5 years from now, because things change so fast in hip hop, your shit might not even be popping anymore. Somebody else comes along, or there's a new sound that everybody's hopping on, and your shit is played out. So you might as well just, you know, play it smart, invest your money, buy some things that is actually going to help you for when your star, your celebrity actually eventually fades away, because everybody usually falls off unless like you actually got bars, like a Cole, like a Kendrick, like Jay-Z. Jay-Z's like in his mid 40s, still spitting that fire. Nas is in his mid 40s, still spitting fire. You know what I'm saying? So unless you got, bars and you got skills that'll help you like last, like you're pretty much, your run is going to be over very, very, very quickly. So keep touring, get that money, stack that bread, and save that shit for a rainy day. I like that advice that he's giving to, these younger rappers, and hopefully they take heed. They take heed to that shit. Now, another rapper who was making news out there was Kanye West, where he released like a series of tweets, pretty much announcing Pusha T's album's coming out May 25th. A joint collaboration album between with him and Kid Cudi is coming out. June 8th. Uh, Kanye's album's coming out June 1st, and then Tiana Taylor, her album is coming out June 22nd. And then he announced that he's producing, Nas's new album, which I was like, hold up. Nas said that his album was done 2 years ago, so on DJ Khaled's album. So which one is it? But anyway, Nas's new album is allegedly coming out June 15th, according to Kanye. So we'll see, when June rolls around, if Nas's album actually really does come out. But now I'm just like, what? I'm curious to see which direction Kanye is going in, because the last two albums, I really didn't like, especially that Yeezus album. I was like, yo, yeah, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit, dog. Like the only song that was really, really tolerable, actually, like the two songs was Blood on the Leaves and fucking uh, Bound 2. And pretty much like off of the other album, I forgot what it was even. The Life of Pablo. The only fucking song I really liked off of that shit was No More Parties in LA. That was it. And I love the beat for Father Raise Our Hands or whatever the fuck it was. But I didn't like Future's part on that. Like Future, people who know me, I don't like Future's music at all. And yeah, he fucks up everything that he's on. So pretty much, I just want to see what direction that Kanye is going. Like, where is he going? With this new album of his. He said his new album is only going to be seven songs. I don't know how long the album is going to be with him and Kid Cudi, but I like the fact that these two finally, squashed their beef, and they're going to put out a joint album together. Because pretty much, like, Ye, back when he released 808s and Heartbreaks, like he really, I guess, like took a bullet for Kid Cudi because really that was like a Kid Cudi album, but he was like the buffer between the world and Kid Cudi because like that whole album was really like a Kid Cudi sounding album. Kid Cudi wrote most of that album anyway, but Ye was like, yo, I'm gonna jump on the sword just in case this shit is corny and nobody really fucks with it, but people really fuck with that album, and he was really the buffer between, you know, the world and Kid Cudi because after 808s and Heartbreaks came out, then Kid Cudi came out shortly. So I was like, I like that. But yeah, that looks like that's pretty much going to be it for this episode. I pretty much covered everything I wanted to cover, and you know, well, pretty much like I, I'm just trying to see how long it's gonna take. I mean, I don't really wish the shit on him, but before somebody beats Takashi 6ix9ine's ass because this motherfucker running around all super cocky and shit, but like he can't be touched. But you know what I'm saying? Some of these niggas is hard headed and they gotta go through what they gotta go through. So hopefully, you know, nothing really happens to them. But I'm like, dog, you are far from the king of New York, my nigga. Like, nah. Um, trying to think of anything else I forgot to touch on. Still keeping tabs on, you know, the whole Fabulous situation with his domestic violence thing. What's going on with him and Emily B. Um, you know, Kendrick Lamar, he won a Pulitzer Prize for his album Damn, which is like fucking, he out here making history for hip hop. He's the first non classical artist to win that. Um, so you know, hats off to Kendrick. Kendrick's still out here, you know, doing phenomenal things. Um, and that's pretty much it. So that's everything I wanted to touch on. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and hopefully it won't take me, you know, so damn long to actually come out with a third episode. But until then, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody keep their ear out. I'll definitely be keeping my ear out for new artists, for new music. And yeah, that's it, man. Hats off, salute to y'all, and I'll catch y'all in another episode. In the next episode, like Dre said, peace.